The Journey of Fluentia.
In the small town of Linguaville, where words flowed like rivers and books lined every street, there lived a student named Ella. Ella was bright and curious, but she had one challenge that held her back: speaking English fluently.
She could understand the language well enough, but when it came to speaking, she often stumbled over words and felt too shy to express herself.
Ella loved learning and would often spend hours reading English books, watching English movies, and listening to English songs. However, when it came time to speak, she felt a knot in her stomach.
She would worry about making mistakes, pronouncing words incorrectly, or using the wrong grammar. This fear made her avoid speaking English altogether, which only made her feel more isolated and frustrated. One day, while sitting under a large oak tree at the edge of town, Ella met an old wise professor named Mr. Veritas. Mr. Veritas was known for helping students with their language skills and had a special gift for making learning fun and effective. Seeing Ella's frustration, Mr. Veritas sat beside her and asked, "Ella, why do you look so troubled?" "I want to speak English fluently, but I'm afraid of making mistakes," Ella confessed. Mr. Veritas smiled kindly and said, "Let me tell you a story about a place called Fluentia."
Fluentia was a magical island where everyone spoke English effortlessly.
The secret to their fluency was not in being perfect speakers, but in practicing every day, learning from their mistakes, and enjoying the process of communication. When Ella reached Fluentia, she was greeted by a talking parrot named Polly.
Polly was colorful, lively, and never afraid to repeat a word or phrase as many times as necessary.
"Welcome to Fluentia, Ella," Polly squawked cheerfully.
Here, we learn by speaking, listening, and most importantly, by not being afraid to make mistakes.
Polly became Ella's guide, teaching her the 3 golden rules of Fluentia. The first rule: speak without fear.
In Fluentia, everyone spoke freely, without worrying about mistakes. Ella learned that making mistakes was not something to fear, but an important part of learning. Polly encouraged Ella to talk about her day, describe her surroundings, and even tell stories, no matter how simple.
Every time Ella made a mistake, Polly would cheer, "Good try, Ella."
Now let's say it again together.
The second rule: practice every day. Ella noticed that the people of Fluentia practiced speaking English in every situation. They chatted while cooking, sang songs while walking, and even practiced tongue twisters to improve their pronunciation. Polly taught Ella to set small, achievable goals, like learning a new word each day or speaking to someone in English for 5 minutes. "Consistency is key," Polly reminded her. "The more you practice, the more confident you'll become." Polly also introduced Ella to the listening tree, a magical tree where the leaves whispered stories, songs, and conversations in English. By spending time under the listening tree, Ella improved her understanding of different accents, picked up new vocabulary, and learned how sentences flowed naturally. "You must listen carefully to learn how the language is used," Polly explained. "The more you listen, the better you'll speak." As days turned into weeks, Ella followed these 3 golden rules. She practiced speaking every day, even if it was just to herself. She stopped worrying about mistakes and started seeing them as stepping stones to improvement. Back in Linguaville, Ella was a different person. She no longer avoided speaking English. Instead, she embraced every opportunity to practice, whether it was in class, with friends, or even with strangers. She knew that her journey to fluency was ongoing, but she was no longer afraid. She enjoyed the process of learning and growing. It's about speaking without fear, practicing consistently, and learning through listening. Just like Ella, you can become fluent by embracing their mistakes, practicing every day, and finding joy in the process of communication. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.